Hello, everybody. Welcome to class. First and foremost, you have a substitute teacher today, and so because they are a guest in our classroom, I expect that you treat them with the utmost respect. If they ask you to do something, ask you to pick something up, ask you to put your phone away, I expect that you do it. If they have to write down your name for any reason at all, I will be having a serious conversation with you, okay? So, with that being said, we have a mole lab today. Your objective and your goal is to get as much done as you can. There's 3 parts. Do your best to complete all 3. I think you guys will be able to do it. They're not very long parts. The first part, okay, number of molecules in a mouthful of water. The purpose, to determine the number of molecules in a mouthful of water. You're going to be using water, cup, balance, and of course your mouth. What you're doing is taking a big gulp of water and you're going to be calculating how many molecules are in that gulp of water. So the procedure, fill a cup of water, determine its mass to the nearest 0.001 grams. There are balances spread out in the room on the countertops. Use the one that's open, but once you use one, make sure you stick with that one. Don't change, okay? Sometimes the balances have a different calibration and may give you a different reading, so use the same balance every time. Massive cup and water initially. You're going to take a cup, fill it with some water, and you are going to weigh that on the balance, okay? So there's your first measurement. The second measurement, what you're going to do, you're going to take a big gulp of water, and then you're going to take the water in the cup that's left, and you're going to go ahead and measure that. Okay, so that's number 2. I'm going to go ahead and put this as number 1, and this is number 2 here. Calculation. Mass of water swallowed. Okay, well, if I take a big gulp of water, and I want to find out the mass of just the water I swallowed, I'm going to be taking measurement number 1, and I'm going to subtract measurement number 2 from it. All right? Molar mass of water. Okay? I will give you the formula for water, H2O. I'm not going to tell you how to calculate the molar mass. You guys know how to do that already, but you're going to put it in this box right here. Okay? And then you're going to show your calculations over here. Moles of water swallowed. So, we're going to find our molar mass of water, and what you're going to do is use it to calculate moles. So if you're given, and if you have calculated the grams or the mass of water that you swallowed, okay, you should be able to take it over here and turn it into moles. And that will be your calculation here. And then from moles, you guys will be going to, and I'm going to move over here a little bit, you're going to be finding out how many molecules of water that you have swallowed. So on our roadmap, we would go from moles to molecules. This can also be atoms or formula units. Okay, use your roadmap here. This is a type of test question that you'll see. So, overall, this answer that you get here is what we're after. This is the final answer that we want to get. Moving on. Part 2. Let's go down here. Purpose, to determine the number of chalk molecules needed to write a message. Well, this guy right here, CaCO3, that is called calcium carbonate. Okay? It's chalk. You're going to be using chalk, and you should have picked up a piece of construction paper, the colored construction paper, when you walked in the classroom. What you're going to be doing is taking the sidewalk chalk, and you're going to be writing out a message. And it can be however long you want it to. Be super creative, okay? And then what you're going to be doing is figuring out how many molecules of calcium carbonate or how many molecules of chalk were used in your message that you wrote. So what you'll be doing, if we look down here, Here's the first part of our chart. I'll have to go to the next page. First of all, write the message that you wrote. Now let's keep it appropriate. Again, we have a substitute here. Okay, let's be respectful. You want to weigh your piece of chalk before you start writing. This is like our initial, okay? So that's going to be the first measurement here. You're going to weigh the chalk by itself, and you're going to be putting that on the balance. The next calculation you'll get, so you'll go ahead and write your message, and then right here, and I'm going to have to go to the next page, but this is going to be the mass of the chalk and weighing boat after page here. There you go. So after writing, this will be the second calculation. Just like in the last problem, you're going to take the first measurement that you got and you will subtract this second measurement. That gives you the mass of chalk by itself. The molecular formula or the compound's formula is right here, CaCO3. You will need to find the molar mass. Okay, I'm not going to tell you how to do that here in this video because you guys know how to do it already. Make sure that you're writing out your calculations here. Once you have the molar mass, you're going to be using your roadmap once again to go from grams to moles. Okay, grams to moles. And the moles will be here. And then you're going to go from moles to molecules, okay? Same exact calculations. All right, this is moles. Same exact calculations that you did in the first part, okay? Your final answer that you want to end up with is how many molecules did it take to write your message? And finally, last but not least, you will be finding the percent of sugar in chewing gum. So let me pull this down a little bit. You'll be using some gum, and then, of course, the balances, again, will be they're scattered around the room. But once you pick a balance, make sure you're using the same balance. I'm going to scoot this over just a tad. We'll skip this note for now. Let's go on to the procedures. Your teacher, that is your substitute today, will have the pieces of gum sitting on the desk, okay? Go ahead and grab one of those. Place all of the wrapped pieces of gum of everyone in your group on the balance. So you're taking everybody's piece of gum and you're putting it on the balance all at once. You're going to record the combined mass of all the wrappers and all the unchewed gum, okay? Number 2, unwrap your piece of gum and put the gum in your mouth. Do not throw the wrapper away. Keep those wrappers. What we're doing is we're using those wrappers as kind of a way to not have your nasty chewed gum all over my balances. Okay, step 3, place everyone's empty gum wrappers on the balance. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be putting everyone's gum wrapper on the balance, and then you're going to record basically just the mass of the wrappers. Okay, again, don't throw the wrapper away. You need it. Step 4, chew your gum until you are done with the other parts of the lab. Basically, you're going to be measuring things, weighing things. Another good indicator is when the gum finally loses flavor. You know that the sugar is going to be all out of the gum after it starts tasting plain. Okay? But go ahead and chew it. All right? Chew rigorously. It'll get more sugar out. You'll have better data. Step 5, after you're done with all the other parts of the lab, put your wrapper up to your mouth and gently spit your gum into the wrapper. Try not to get too much saliva on the gum because the saliva weighs, it has a mass, okay? So do your best not to include as much spit as you can. That would be awesome. Plus, I don't want your spit all over my lab. Thanks. Step 6. Place the wrapped chewed gum of everyone in your group on the balance. So you're putting everyone's chewed, wrapped in the wrapper, gum onto the balance. You're going to record the combined mass, and then you're going to safely and appropriately throw your gum away into the trash can. Scrolling on down, let's look at the table and how we're going to attempt these calculations. Okay? Number 1, number of people. Good. Number 2, brand of gum. Okay, write it down. Number 3, mass of wrappers and unchewed gum. Okay, this is of everybody. Mass of wrappers and unchewed gum. You're going to put everybody's piece of gum onto the balance, okay? Number 4, after you have all started chewing your gum, you're going to weigh just the wrappers, okay, onto, you're going to weigh everybody's wrappers on the balance at one time, okay? You'll get a measurement. Number 5, mass of unchewed gum only. So to do that, you will have to do a calculation here. You're going to have to subtract, okay? You're going to have to do number 3. Number 3 minus number 4 here. And that's going to give you measurement 5, okay? And then you're going to spit your chewed gum into the wrapper, and you're going to weigh everybody's gum in the wrappers, and you'll get a total there. And then you will subtract the weight of the wrappers just to get the mass of the chewed gum. So you will have to do number 6 minus the mass of the wrappers only. So we're going to do 6 minus 4 here. In order to find the sugar that came out of the gum, you're going to do calculation 5 minus calculation 7. Okay. And to take it a step further, to find the sugar of just one piece, you will take what you just got in step 8 and subtract it from the number of people in the group, or step 1 there in the table. In order to find the percent of sugar in one piece of gum, real quick, this calculation is wrong, okay? So we're going to fix this right now. To find the percent of sugar in one piece of gum, you take the mass of sugar, which is calculation 8. You will divide it by not number 7, but number 5, because 5 is the measurement that has sugar and the gum. Okay, so we want part over whole. All right, don't forget that. So the little typo there, part over whole. So whatever we get here from calculation 8 divided by 5, we multiply that by 100, and we will get a percentage. On the last part, do your best to answer these questions. Okay. If you get to this spot in the lab, I'll be very impressed, and I can answer any questions that you have on Friday, which is Mole Day. So, do your best. Try to answer these questions, okay? Otherwise, respect the sub. If there's any questions, tell the sub I left my number. If they are so inclined, they can text me, and I will get back to them as soon as I can. So just let the sub know if you have a question, and maybe they can convey that message to me, okay? All right. But that doesn't mean you go to the sub for each and every single little question that you have, okay? This would be a significant question, if that makes sense. Either way, just do your best, okay? You guys are awesome. Do your best on the lab. Get as much as you can done. Stay focused. See you tomorrow.